internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. It was a pleasure to meet every single one of you guys the last couple of days. You know, we really got to connect, but now we got to get back to the grind. And this episode, I'm telling you right now, is going to be absolutely insane. I had no idea what to put for the thumbnail or the title as I'm thinking right now, as I'm recording, because in a second, you're going to hear one of the Ripple employees. I just had his name up. I completely forgot about it. I'll put his, I believe, Miltenberg. He pretty much says here that what we're doing, you know, pretty much replaces what Swift is doing. This is crazy, but I'm not putting that in the thumbnail because, you know, that's way too hectic. But WorldPay, Visa, Ripple, MasterCard, this is insanity, and it just makes perfect sense. Wait until you see what I lay out in front of you. Do you remember this patent that was granted 2024 earlier this year in January? Okay, it was assigned, well, it is assigned to WorldPay, and it's also assigned to JP Morgan Chase. Keep this in mind because we're going to go to another patent by another company, but there's also another bank that they're working with. But again, what are the odds that you have Ripple XRP in these patents? Guys, wake up if you're not already, you know, if you don't know what's going on, wake up. This thing is going to be monumental. In this PDF, WorldPay, you know what? Let me set the tone before I show you this PDF, just to show you that Ripple, Stellar, USDC, WorldPay were on a panel together just two months ago. Listen to this.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Nabil. I work at a company called WorldPay, which is the world's largest merchant acquirer or payment processor, if you don't want to use industry lingo. We enable businesses, large and small, around the world to accept fiat payments from consumers. Last year, we processed about $2.4 trillion of payments into our various clients across pretty much all verticals. So I guess we're the traditional company that these guys are trying to disrupt, but hopefully we can partner with them before they do so, and we do partner with many of them. But my role at the company is wearing a few different hats, so leading all of WorldPay's partnerships with banks and payment networks around the world, so our relationship with the likes of Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and about 15 or 20 banks around the world that we work with to move our money.
And Mr. Manji is sitting there and telling you that, you know, we have partners, you know, actually right here, sitting here in the panel pretty much. That is monumental. And then in the PDF and the patent, it tells you right here, blockchain for settlement. And look at one of the pain points that Mr. Manji points out.
Even like sending a Swift wire, there's a number of intermediaries involved, and that number can vary from 2 or 3 all the way up to 5 or 6, depending on the payment, whether it's cross-border, what type of payment method, all that stuff. And for the party at the end that's settling the money to the merchant or the final beneficiary, if they want to do that quicker, they need to get the money faster from the other intermediaries, or somebody needs to front them capital, and that costs money, right? And so us as a payment processor, could we settle all of our merchants same day? Yeah, sure, but where are we going to get that money from? Because Visa and MasterCard don't send it to us until 1 or 2, 3 days later, depending on where we are. And as much as I'd like to settle money to everyone quicker, fronting $2.4 million or $1 trillion for a couple days, you guys can do the math on how much that would cost from a lending perspective. It's not cheap. So.
And it gets even better because we do have indeed the Interledger Communication Protocol, and then also with settlement, blockchain for settlement. Again, they're utilizing, well, not utilizing, they're using XRP here as an example, but you know, we know what's going on behind the scenes here. Like this is something much bigger than Bitcoin. I don't think people understand how enormous Ripple and this digital asset XRP is to the new world economy and how it's supposed to be running. And going on to another patent Remember Bart Van Hoek. None of these are coincidences. Wait until we get further into the video. It's just crazy. You guys all know Bart Van Hoek. If you didn't, he works at Ripple full-time as a lead product manager. But previously, he was at MoneyGram. And at the time of being in MoneyGram, they released this patent. As you could see, inventor Bart assigned to MoneyGram. And guess what? This one is with Goldman Sachs. Previously, with WorldPay, they have JP Morgan Chase, right? You see how this is. You see how they're all in this together, but they could be working directly with Ripple or indirectly with Ripple and XRP. But what stands out here is the timing of this. So this was filed 2021. Bart left 2021, came to Ripple, and then this was approved and granted in 2023 January. And it is active, and the expiry date is 2041, and the expiry date for the first patent is 2039. Okay, these are, looking for the long run. Like, this is, words cannot describe anything. I genuinely cannot even comprehend how big this is going to get. It sounds crazy at the time, but when it does happen, like, it sounds really crazy right now, but when everything, starts rolling and starts happening, that's when a lot of people are going to say, you know what, wow, like, this is incredible. But even in this patent, they used Ripple as an example for other settlement solutions may be used, including a custom settlement solution, and the present disclosure is not limited to the use of such third-party settlement solution. I'll leave the link in the description down below for these patents, but they do outline XRP as well and how it would be utilized. And take a listen to what Eric says here.
Park funds in correspondent banks around the world. So when a payment was made, money really wasn't moving cross borders. It was already sitting where it needed to be. It was a hugely inefficient use of capital, right? You had trillions of dollars sitting in correspondent banking and nostro accounts, as they call them, and waiting for payment instructions. So then we used a digital asset. We focused on XRP as this bridge currency, again, not trying to replace fiat on either side, but it's just trying to make the movement of the capital move at the same time the message moved. So again, not a replacement of the old system, well, in some ways a replacement of what a lot of SWIFT was doing, but it's still, so again, not a replacement of the old system, well, in some ways a replacement of what a lot of SWIFT was doing, but it's still largely the same end user experience. And I really agree. It doesn't matter to the end user, be it a business or a consumer or whatnot, what's happening underneath the hood. It's just, if it's faster, if it's more reliable, if I can get over the weekends versus waiting for a weekday, and if the costs are lower, that's really what matters. And so it's working with sort of the established players to make sure that they're realizing the benefit.
And now we're going to go over this information in regards to Currency Cloud and their licensing. Look at how this all adds up. Look at the whole journey we have been on. People said it was speculation, but now we are 100% accurate. Like, just look at this. Now, the Currency Cloud announces partnership with Ripple. You guys know, July 2nd, 2020. And then Visa ends up buying Currency Cloud at the end. They're still with Ripple. Earthport launched their first compliant gateway to provide real-time payments via DLT in 2015, working with Ripple. And then, of course, Visa came and bought Earthport in 2019. But what stands out here is this is the race to the finish line, as I said in my previous video. You have Currency Cloud, which we didn't cover, March 6, 2024. They were granted in-principle approval for major payment institution license by Monetary Authority of Singapore. And we know that Circle also got it June 6, 2023. And we know that Ripple also obtained it October 3rd, 2023. And now you ask yourself where we're going, and you listen to what Mr. Manji said.
With banks and payment networks around the world, so our relationship with the likes of Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and about 15 or 20 banks around the world that we work with to move our money.
He talks about MasterCard, American Express, Visa, which have all ties to Ripple and XRP. I mean, this is back to 2017. American Express Standard team up with Ripple for cross-border payments via blockchain. And then last year, MasterCard came out and announced that they're working with Ripple, which we already said, years ago that they were. But we were called, speculators and just conspiracy theorists. And then, come on, the writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of if you understand it or not. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And we'll be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.